Bottleman G, am I right? Hello everybody, welcome to the Bottleman G tier list video. I'm not going to be beating around the bush because you already know what the video is given the thumbnail and the title, so no massive intro this time, but I will like to specify that Bottleman G has been quite the roller coaster, hasn't it? Given the, like, what, 5-6 unique Bottlemen that we had and the rest were all just recolours, it's been a weird system to say the least. A lot of potential could have been executed, or utilised, or whatever word I want. There was a lot of potential for this series to be even better than Bottleman DX, but because of the quality control issues that have been persistently inconsistent throughout the entirety of the system, and the fact that, some of the main gimmicks of the G line were barely utilised, like swappable core pieces, it's just, I don't know. I had high hopes for G, and it wouldn't be wrong to say I'm disappointed, but it would be wrong to say that I'm completely hating this series. There's some people I know who just genuinely don't like G at all, and while I'm a little more forgiving, I can also see that yes, G is god-awful. That's what the G stands for, god-awful. So how about we switch this over to the tier list that I designed here on tierlistmaker.com, as I always tend to do, and let's just get started, shall we? This is going to be quite the adventure, isn't it? Look at all these Bottlemen, and more than half of them are recolours. Although, yeah, I've made Dragurt just one figure when Kouryuoh has all 5 forms represented here. I just feel like the Kouryuoh forms are more distinct entities than Dragurt's normal and big cat mode. So why don't we just actually start with Dragurt? I'm going to put him here. Dragurt on his own is an alright Bottleman. He's actually not that bad. He's a pretty decent little power type. His arms are pretty close to the body, so when the power spikes push into them, there's resistance. He's just your little basic power type Bottleman. What makes him unique is his big cap launcher and his big caps. While this is a ranking of Bottlemen, I probably am going to be talking about the God Cap since that's like the main gimmick of the series. The G stands for God Cap, so I think the big cap's fine. It's not like Takara advertised it as this like super powerful, ultimate mega shot thing. You know, like it's a strong shot, but it's alright. There's a lot stronger options in Bottleman G. Heck, some DX Bottlemen just outpower the big cap. The big cap's pretty good for causing a lot of calamity though. It's not good for damage output, but it's good for like, say there's a bowling pin set. It's such a big target, it can knock over a lot of them anyways. So it's pretty good in that regard. This thing also comes with like a little weight booster part, so it can be heavier, which also helps, but big cap isn't as strong as Takara really wants you to believe. Hence why Dragurt as a whole goes in B tier. He's a fine power type Bottleman, but outside of that, he's alright. Design's a little awkward, but the big cap it's fine, not really much else to say. Big cap launcher can only really work with Dragurt's arms, which is a bit limiting, but whatever, Dragurt's fine, he's alright. Next up, we have Samets. Oh, we have another CC Leon situation where he was one of the worst in the prototype system, but he is... Hear me out. This is the beat-em-on. This is the Bottleman Dog Pepeon wishes it could be. Quality control aside, because this thing kind of feels like shit, I'm not gonna lie, the one-hand trigger is awesome. I just really like it. The two-way magazine as well is pretty amazing as well. This is probably the best speed type in Bottleman. Again, with the quality assurance bullshit aside, the one-hand trigger and the two-way magazine are very, very good for those who want to do a one-hand fire to Bottleman, one-hand reload to the Bottleman method of play. Method of play, sure, we'll go with that. I don't remember what words I wanted. Samets is just really good at being a speed type. It is Doc Pepeon, but better. It's a better Doc Pepeon. While it feels worse to shoot because Bottleman G's quality control is awful, I still think he is a pretty solid Bottleman. He should probably be A tier, but I'm fine with putting him in S. He's also the only Bottleman that actually utilizes that idea of the core splitting in half. So the core's split in half, so that means you could like switch your triggers around. You could do this in DX, but the way that G does it means you could put, like, say, Dragurt's power front half with Samets' back half, and you'd have not only magazine access, because that's where the magazine port is, but you'd also get this one-hand trigger, a very unique trigger amongst the line, while having power hold parts. While it's kind of neutered by Kouryuoh, we'll get to him later, yeah, Samets really is the only one who's utilized the back half core gimmick in any sort of good capacity. Everybody else is just a different trigger pad, but this guy is straight up just a different trigger, which is pretty fun. You know, something like an Aowashi paddle trigger would have worked for this series as well, but nah, it's stuck to the axe. You know, you could have had, like, Aowashi's back half being a speed course, and it being a speed type, so then you could put this speed type paddle trigger onto a power core front, or a control core front, which don't exist in this series, but we'll get to that. Yeah, like, the splitting cores would have been pretty cool for customization, but it doesn't really matter anymore, because Kouryuoh exists. Yeah, Samets is just great. I don't like the light cap all that much, speed cap is just better, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about the... That's all I've got to say about the God Cap. Samets is just really good. I might drop him back down to A once we've gone through all this, but we'll see, won't we? Samets, really good Bottleman. Samets is a really good Bottleman. The light cap I can give or take, but Cobalt Bottle G, because it's meant to be like Cobalt Saber. No, Cobalt Blade, the CB thing. I don't know where to put him. There! No, here. Because he is a lesser Dragurt. You're getting this guy because he's Cobalt Blade. I mean, I did. But in terms of, like, comparing these two together, I think I said this in my review of the first 3 Bottlemen. Cobalt Bottle is just a lesser Dragurt, because Dragurt comes with more. Dragurt in its normal mode and Cobalt Bottle are literally the same Bottleman. While yes, the horn has, like, pretty nice utility for, like, aiming shots and whatnot. That's, like, the only thing unique about Cobalt Bottle. It comes with a weight boost, which Dragurt also comes with. It doesn't come with a big cap launcher, so it's just less valuable, because Dragurt just comes with more. Dragurt just comes with a lot more, and they're both alright. Cobalt Bottle also is just ugly. And it just gets worse when you realise, you know, something like Bottle Sphinx G or Bottle Wyvern G, they were willing to make unique heads for the Bottleman remakes, yet they never bothered with Cobalt Blade or Cobalt Saber, so that's just kind of shit, in my opinion. Both of the Cobalts are just ugly. Takara proved that they could do better, but they just chose not to, which is weird. We have the red Dragurt and the silver Samets, which are just recolours of their respective Bottlemen. They come from a battle set, so you get them both at the same time, and honestly, they're fine. Not the biggest fan of red Dragurt. I like the blue and silver more on silver Samets here, but the magazine is kind of a disgusting colour of this, like, pukey yellow, so I prefer the colour scheme overall, though, so that goes there. Bottle Wyvern G! Yeah, it's a better version of Bottle Wyvern DX, so it just kind of goes there, I guess. I kind of prefer the head sculpt on this guy compared to the other two, but this is literally, these 3 are literally the same Bottleman, so that's where I put all of these. Dekavitiger. Oh my fucking egozet. The problems that I had with Raid Brave are fixed with this guy. Raid Brave was really disappointing. I wanted him to be our first customizable vertical shooter. Something more system friendly, and that is what Dekavitiger is. The core has arm ports and feet ports and a head port that just supports the regular building system, so you can just make a regular Bottleman with a vertical core now, which is great and I love it. But he's a bit, like, alright. I know I've called him my son before, but he's, like, alright. He's said to be a control type, but I call bullshit on that. Oh, I forgot about the God Cap on Wyvern, because it is a speed cap and not a light cap like with the other two. It's great, I love it. We all know I have a speed cap bias, so that's probably why he also goes further ahead, because these come with an inferior God Cap. Well, Wyvern comes with a better one. The reason why I mentioned God Caps is because that's the only reason why Deka is a control type, because it has a vertical shot, which a regular bottle cap has a rim on one end, one side of the bottle cap, while the control cap has this rim on both sides, so it doesn't roll to one side. When you roll a bottle cap on its side, it will drift to one side because of that lip that it has, that rim. But the control cap has a rim on both sides, so it just rolls straight, and it's great. It's the only reason why it's a control type, because everything else is power-based. Vertical shooters have always been historically power types, and the fact that Deka has this like head tilting gimmick that allows it to put pressure onto the whole part, that's literally just a power type gimmick. This thing is a power type. I am probably going to put him there, actually, because he's not magazine compatible, which is a shame, because if he was, he'd be like a perfect Bottleman. They didn't even give him like maybe a magazine adapter, so then it plugs into a vertical core and then magazines plug into the adapter. Like, that would have been cool to have, maybe with Sphinx over here, but nah, it's just its own thing. It's the only thing disappointing about him. Yeah, he's a really nice Bottleman. He's kind of hard to use because the head tilting gimmick. I just can't get it to work right. I tried to pull the head back and shoot and it just does not fire. Maybe that's just me being bad at the gimmick, but I like him. He's a good A tier. He's an A tier, that's for sure. I like that he's our first system-friendly vertical shooter if you do not count Dragurt G, because Dragurt G is like a speciality. This thing is just a standard vertical shooter, which Raid Braid should have been, but it took an entire generation to finally get this. But, whatever. Black Dragurt, I don't remember what this is meant to be based on. I think it's just a cool recolor, but I'm going to put it in there. I like the colours more than the red one, but white and blue are my colours. Of course I'm going to prefer the regular Dragurt. Oh boy, Kokuryuoh G. His quality control isn't forgivable, unlike the rest of the line, because he is historically, and it's not just me, I've seen other people's Kokuryuohs, like, shatter. The arm parts, like the jet black ones, are way too tight, which makes, pulling them off, it stresses the plastic on, the transparent plastic, by the way, on the arm pegs, which means if you swap the arms around a lot to do, like, say, all of the different modes and the Mega Cannon wings, if you do that too many times, your Kouryuoh is going to self-destruct. When the whole point is to switch forms, it's unforgivable, honestly. Mine shattered, and a couple of other people in the Bottleman Discord server has had broken Kouryuoh arms because of how tight the black arms are. The black arms? What is this? Fucking Sonic X Shadow Generations? Oh, it's so bad. But the Bottleman itself is fucking great. So, let's rank this guy in sort of a perfect world where it has no self-destructing gimmick. It does sour the Bottleman a lot, but I want to rank him like he doesn't have it, because he's so good. Like, this guy's an S tier, because he's great. Power is also good. Control is... I don't like it. Basic form is fine, and then the power form is pretty good too. Like, a lot of Kouryuoh's forms are awesome. I just... fucking good. Let's just be honest. I've just ranked all 5 at once, so I should probably, tell you why. So for speed form, it's, Power Core Magazine. We all know that that's, my favorite combo. I'm not the biggest fan of small caps, despite the fact that they perform better than I always think they do. This is just a really good Bottleman. It's got nice stability, stabilizers with its foot part, which is nice. It helps support the magazine when it comes with. Power mode is just really nice. It is a lesser Colaoh Energy DX, but it's still really powerful. In fact, I'm actually going to put it here, because just like Colaoh DX, it's really just itself. Even though it can add a magazine and a barrel because of the core, I don't know. The Mega Cannon Wing versus the Suspension Cannon Wing. Like, suspension's better because you can get a better grip on it, and it is actually stronger. But I do like power mode. It's fun. I do not like control mode. The side mount is really bad, honestly. I don't like this thing in its sideways mode. It looks really weird. Like, the whole Bottleman itself just looks really weird. I don't like handling it either. it's just a really awkward Bottleman to use. And for a control type, it shouldn't be awkward. Control type should be solid and something you can get a really good grip of. And you just can't with this guy. It just feels unnatural to me. It looks unnatural, it feels unnatural, and its tiny barrel is immediately outclassed when this guy comes out. Base Kouryuoh is actually really good. It's just a really neat little Bottleman. It's the same sort of thing as like Dragurt, where it's just a really nice Bottleman to have. I'm ranking it above because the stabilizers on the feet help. Dragurt is okay, Kouryuoh's okay. Like, these two are pretty well matched if you have Kouryuoh, if you have a Dragurt in its normal mode, like Cobalt Bottle. And then perfect mode, of course, is going to rank above everyone else. In fact, it probably should actually go here, because it literally is a perfect Bottleman build. Kouryuoh comes with a perfect core, so its power hold parts, it has magazine access, and it has barrel access. You don't need to do any sort of trickery with, like, say, Red Arrow Cider, where you put it in barrel mode to get a barrel. Nah, this guy can just utilize a barrel, which, despite it being a short barrel, it's like this build, this perfect mode is really good. And given the fact that the Mega Cannon Wing is also a little loose on this guy, it means taking the arms off isn't going to wreck your Kouryuoh. Unlike the black arms, Shadow the Hedgehog, the jet arms we'll call them because they look like jet wings. The jet arms are fundamentally just designed bad. They're not even that good to hold because like the wingtips like dig into your hands and it's just, I don't like it. I love how they look. I love how the jet wings look. I don't like holding them. The Mega Cannon Wing is great. They're kind of shit to hold, but they are pretty powerful arm parts, paired with a power core and magazine and a barrel and stabilizer foot parts, and you just have like this perfect Bottleman, which is why he's top of S. Quality assurance aside, if you ever get Kouryuoh, just keep him in this mode, or buy two. No, actually don't buy two of them. Buy one Kouryuoh, keep him in this form, and then buy a Cobalt Bottle G, Cobalt Bottle Fire G, to be your perfect mode, because it's literally the same as him. Just, it's the same as him. He is too, but we'll get to the others later. I've rambled on about Kouryuoh a lot. He's great, he's awesome. He only has one shit form, but he's really held back by his quality assurance, which can actually be fixed if you buy Cobalt Bottle, so Cobalt Bottle Fire. I'll explain it later, but for the Jin version, it's silver. So Kokuryuoh G is basically Black Dragon King. This guy isn't Kokuryuoh G silver version, it's his unique name basically translates into Silver Dragon King, just like Black Dragon King, so it's pretty nice. The name's fitting, but where do I put him? He's the same, it's not just the speed form. The picture only shows it in speed form, but it does come with golden cannon wings. Cannon arms, cannon wings. I always forget what the Mega Cannon Wing is. I think it is wing. I think he's... Hold on, let me check something. Because if he has a transparent core, then the ranking doesn't really matter. But if he has a solid core, he's going to be better. Because of, like, tolerances and shit. Oh, where do I... Oh, it's a transparent core, so it doesn't really matter. The reason why I wanted to find out if it's a solid core, because solid cores won't break as easily as the transplastic core from the jet wings being so tight. So, just put in here. He's visually more cohesive, but again, remember, this silver one basically is accompanying the recolor itself. I don't have the recolors in its separate forms, but it does come with a perfect form, so it would rank up here overall, I guess. Like, if you want to rank the Kouryuoh set as a whole, it's top of S tier. And Silver Dragon King is... I mean, he looks cool, he's more visually cohesive, because the red cannon arms are kind of weird on the black and blue body, but it's fine, we'll just keep him here, sure. I'm going to put him here. Bottle Sphinx G is just a worse Kouryuoh Energy DX. But that means he's still a really good Bottleman. There are many reasons why he's worse. One, the Mega Cannon arm is not as strong as the Suspension Cannon arms. It's only slightly weaker, but it's amplified by the fact, or de-amplified by the fact that the core that Phoenix comes with is a basic power core. No drive strip unlike Kouryuoh Energy DX. So a tad weaker cannon arm with a weaker power core means that this guy is just fundamentally weaker than Colaoh Energy DX. It even has like control support with its feet being the same as Kouryuoh's, where it has those like stability struts. I prefer energy over this guy, but this guy's still really good, give or take. In terms of G, he's also like really good. Phoenix is just a really solid Bottleman, and he's nice. The only issue I have with him is that he has a basic power core like Dragurt does, but this can be supplemented by replacing the back of the core with a speed core, like say maybe Samets' or Kouryuoh's. Because the magazine port is tied to the trigger now, you can swap the trigger around and give him a magazine, which would be fundamentally really nice. But somebody further up the line just does this without needing extra Bottleman, so he's nice, I like him. But he does come with a unique god cap that he only has. All of the god caps are shared amongst everyone here. He's the only one to come with a metal cap. Speed cap and metal cap were introduced in the prototype system. It isn't really a god cap that he has, unique to him. But in terms of the G series, he's the only one who has a metal cap. And I've just realized I lied because Bottle Sphinx actually has their own unique bottle cap. He's the only one to come with a metal cap, so he has a lot of value there as well. I like him. Also, he's based on probably my favorite Phoenix, that being Combat Phoenix in its perfect mode. It's a little bit of a bias there. Bottle Sphinx! Oh, I'm tempted to put him there because it comes with a drive strip, which means it's just fundamentally stronger and better. It's just fundamentally better than Dekavitiger. It's also solid plastic, so that just makes it better as well. There's still a control type, which is stupid because it not only does it have the head tilting gimmick, but it also has a drive strip, which is universally power typed, but whatever. Takara's just given up on control types at this rate. Yeah, the only thing that makes me want to put Sphinx lower is the god cap that it comes with. The curve cap. I love the idea of the curve cap. It's essentially a bottle cap with a rubber rim, so it actually like drifts to the left or right depending on how you load it. But the cap is shaped like, I don't know, like a coffee capsule, where it thins out the further to the top it is, which fundamentally makes the cap really weak. A lot of curving beat 'em up are very fundamentally awkward to use. Like, you need to get like a really good grip and a really good slam of the trigger to get it to like shoot decently. They are very awkward beat 'em up to be able to do right, like Drift Jakku and Lord Cavalry. I own Lord Cavalry. He is pretty hard to shoot with any sort of decent power coming out of it. And the same issue applies to Bottle Sphinx. When you can get it going, it fucking goes! Funny little story, I shot this Bottleman one time at the back of my living room, just to see how it would roll on a much longer floor, and it swerved off all the way around outside of the living room, all the way into the nearing bathroom. It just went! But then other times, it can just go bleh, and just like barf it out, and then it just sort of gives up on itself before it's even gone anywhere. It's a really hard Bottleman to use. Well, you do get like 5 swerve caps in this set, which is pretty funny. It's the only Bottleman to come with curve caps. They're awkward to use. Dekavitiger's control cap works in standard Bottleman, while there's no like added gimmick or whatever, no added benefit. It still works. Curve caps only work in vertical shooters. You tried to put one of them in a horizontal Bottleman, as I've tried, and there's a lot of complications. Since the cap, it thins out, it just shoots out with no force at all. It just sort of plops out, and it's just kind of shit. And you have to load them upside down. If you load them right way up, the rubber will stop them from really sliding down any magazine or just shooting out of any core. Just do not use curve caps in horizontal cores because they're just pathetic. Use them in verticals, and even then they're still kind of awkward to use. I want to rank Bottle Sphinx above Dekavitiger because of the solid plastic and the drive strip, because they're both really nice. But Deka's more practical because it comes with a more practical bottle cap. I'll keep Sphinx at the top. Sphinx's drive core gives it more utility. It gives it more wantability. Sure, we'll say that. Yeah, no, can I just stack these two on top of each other? Because Deca's Deca is just really nice, but Sphinx has better pros but worse cons. It has a drive strip, but it also has the curve cap, which is probably the worst cap in Bottleman. It's the worst god cap by far, so I don't know. It's an awkward bitch, that's for sure. Colaoh. Cola fucking O. Alright, I know this is going to be a fucking spicy opinion, but hear me out. I've seen people use my tier list to rank the Bottlemen before. I made the tier list and I went, hey, give me your opinions on the tier list and like rank the Bottlemen and whatnot. And Colaoh has been like an S tier every time. From whoever's filled it out before, Colaoh has been S tier or high A tier. Just you know, really good. I don't like Colaoh. I've been struggling to find a reason why I don't like him. He is everything I would want. He is super gimmicky. He is really cool. He's like look at him, but he feels out of place. I've been grappling with what makes me not like him so much, and it is because he's so out of place. You get ridiculous Bottlemen like Dragurt G and he fits better. It's because he just fits the regular design system. Colaoh might as well just be a different Bottleman system, despite the fact that he's fully compatible with the regular build system. What would make me like him more is if there were more Titans, and I would like him more if he wasn't Colaoh. It really annoys me that he's a Colaoh evolution. Like, he's not a Colaoh alternative, he is the next Colaoh, given that it's basically designed like Energy DX. If this was a Dragurt evolution or a Dragurgina evolution, you know, like, let's say, Dragurt God G or Dragurgina G, I would be a lot more on board with him. But I would also be a lot more on board if there were more Titans. Let's say we have a Colaoh, then we have an Aqua-O for a Aqua Sports G, and then we have a Dragurgina. Dragurgina-O? Dragurgina King? Because that's what Colaoh means, it's Cola King. If we had like 3 Titans, we had Colaoh, we had Aqua Sports, and then we have like Dragurgina being like a quadrupedal Titan, I would be a lot more on board with this. They'd be like, you know, the cornerstones of Bottleman G, the gods of God Cap. But yeah, it's just him. He feels really out of place, and it disturbs me a little. Personal issues aside, what about the actual Bottleman himself? He's very unwieldy, he's very impractical, but he's very, very fun. His main core is a big cap core, meaning he just shoots big caps normally. The issue with Dragurt is that his big cap launcher, it's just the one ammo, and reloading it is awkward. Colaoh, it's just a straight up core. It even comes with a magazine, so it has like 3 big caps inside it. So you can just shoot 3 big caps, it's great. There is a big cap Dragurt coming up, and it's great. It's honestly a really nice little core. I say little core when it's the biggest core, but you can attach this onto regular Bottlemen, as proven by Big Cap Dragurt here, and it's just really nice. The arms are impractical, but hey, I guess if you want twin small cap shooters that won't wreck your ball cores, Kouryuoh, they're a nice alternative, I guess. The feet are ridiculous. I mean, the legs, feet are their own component. The legs are ridiculous, given you essentially have 2 ball sphinxes on your legs, which also come with horizontal caps, so just outclasses Bottle Sphinx if you're okay with your Bottlemen having Sakura-ass fun device. The feet themselves also disattach and can attach onto regular bottle cores, which is weird. Which means regular foot parts can also attach onto either leg. They have a tilting feature like prototype Curpettes. And I guess it's something that shoots closer to the floor because it is very tall. It's going to shoot over shorter bottle targets at a closer range. So I guess the tilt also helps with that. Everything about this guy is practically really good. It's just I have many personal gripes with it that makes me not like it as much as most people do. Again, if there were multiple Titans, then I could accept it a little bit better. You know, a Colaoh and Aqua Sports, maybe a Gyokorock Titan. Just have the original 3 as these God Cap Titans, because Colaoh uses God Caps exclusively. It comes with the control caps, vertical caps, it comes with the small caps, it comes with big caps. It is a god that uses God Caps, and if there were multiple Titans, then that'd be nice, but no, it's just himself, it's just him. I do like him, I just kind of find all of the others more practical and they just sit better with me, I guess is the point. So I've always been a massive gimmicks lover. I think we found my limit. We found my limit, and that is giant Bottleman. That's just it. It's just him. No other giant Bottleman. It's just him. He's lonely. Get him a friend. Spritening. Oh, Spritening G. Nope, you go. Here. I think. Maybe? Yes. Ranking Spritening above Colaoh is going to get people to stop me. Hear me out. I know it's a dirty rehash. I know it is the pinnacle of Takara's laziness when it comes to Bottleman G. It literally is CC Leon with a barrel and a magazine. But that's why it's so good. CC Leon's body set is just really good for control. It covers a pretty big surface area with the fact that it's a quadruped, so it's pretty solidly just on the floor. Then you give it a big, long barrel, which is better than Kouryuoh's shitty barrel. I mean, it has Aqua Sports DX's magazine, which is not that good. Kouryuoh's magazine, without its like weird topper, is a better 2-cap magazine than Spritening or Aqua Sports', but it's fine. I guess it's fine. And then the core itself is actually a multi-core like Kouryuoh's, but it has the CC Leon trigger pad. So this Bottleman, it's not that bad. It's actually really good. I've always been a Spritening defender because I know it's a lazy little piece of shit that probably should have been like a random collection booster thing and not its own release. This isn't like CC Leon G or CC Leon DX G version or whatever. No, this is meant to be its own unique Bottleman. It's based on Sprite. It's not like a CC Lemon alternative or whatever. No, it's Sprite. So it's meant to be its own unique Bottleman, yet it uses primarily, well, not primarily, it just consists, it is just reused parts. But they're good reused parts. Power hold parts, omni-core, multi-core, long barrel, kind of shitty magazine, but magazine access in general, yes. It's a really good Bottleman. It's more practical than Colaoh, at least. I think Kouryuoh might actually need to go above Phoenix because, again, just like with Spritening, it has barrel and magazine access, which turns it into perfect mode. But I do kind of like Phoenix more, but yeah, that's why Spritening is up here compared to everybody's S tier here, because it is practical. It's lazy as shit, but it's a very practical Bottleman. It's not as strong as it could be because the legs on CC Leon are pretty gappy to allow the hold parts to spread out pretty wide, even with the power hold spike. The power spikes. I mean, it's got everything you'd really want. It's a budget perfect Kouryuoh. Plus, I think it's pretty cute that when it's in the dark, the core, the magazine, and the barrel all being transparent allows you to see the glow-in-the-dark bottle cap inside the Bottleman. You can see it shoot out as well, which I think is just a really neat thing. That's its god cap, by the way. It's the glow-in-the-dark laser cap from the prototype system, and it isn't a god cap. God caps to me are something that changes performance, whether it be its size or its material or its lack of material in some cases, or just its shape. The glow-in-the-dark cap literally is just, it glows. It doesn't change performance at all. If it was, say, a smooth bottle cap with no ridges, then yeah, I'd count it as a god cap because it does have a different build, but it's literally just a bottle cap that glows. It's not a god cap, but I still rank it pretty highly because it's just a good Bottleman. So for some reason in the G line, we get Colaoh armors, which, I mean, it's Colaoh's armor, and Colaoh is a pretty solid Bottleman. But that's the thing, it's only the armor, you don't get a core. You don't even get a trigger, it's just a head, hands, and feet. But I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put them here. I'm gonna put them in there. I'm gonna put them in C. I'm gonna leave them in C because at the end of the day, it's Colaoh's armor, which is, well, Colaoh's body pieces, which is still really good. Even if the hands pressure gimmick isn't utilized, the fact that it's still wings, so you can just grip onto the wings and they're pretty nice to hold. I still like the head design, I still like the feet. I'm gonna put the clear one above the yellow one because the yellow one looks like piss. The clear one is really nice looking, I like it. Yes, just not even a full Bottleman is better than Kouryuoh control mode. I don't like it. Now we get to the crystal versions, the clear versions of the Team Guts set, which I'm going to rank like this for Since they are transparent plastic, actually, you should stay with his solid version. They are transparent plastic, so they are going to be a bit more brittle. Because it is transparent plastic, it is a bit more worrying. And God Cap's like tolerances are bad, as we know with Kouryuoh. But the Mega Cannon wing is looser than most G arms, so transparent Bottle Phoenix should be fine. But I don't know about the other two. I like that Bottle Phoenix came with a updated version of like the Bottleman head caps, because usually Bottleman Bottlemen just have the Bottleman logo on their caps instead of like a logo like all the other Bottlemen do. Bottle Phoenix changed this. Now there's a Bottle Phoenix G emblem, but that came after Wyvern. So transparent Wyvern here has a updated ball cap, which is pretty neat. But again, it's these are transparent plastic, and as we know from Kouryuoh, it's not the best idea, especially if you have super tight arms like the jet wings. But whatever. So we have Cobalt Bottle G, based on Cobalt Fire. I'm gonna piss so many people off with this tier list. I have my reasonings outside of my Cobalt bias. So what's the main issue with Kouryuoh? What's our main issue with Kouryuoh? Its core. Its arms specifically. When you have the jet arms on the Kouryuoh core, it's very likely it will shatter. Transparent plastic is more brittle than solid plastic. Cobalt has a multi-core that's solid. Spritening has a transparent multi-core, just like Kouryuoh, so it's a bit dodgy, right? Only Kouryuoh and Spritening at this rate have multi-cores. Cobalt Bottle Fire has a multi-core in solid plastic, which means you could use this with Kouryuoh, and Kouryuoh would be less of an issue. I mean, the jet arms would still be very tight, but since it's solid plastic, you're very less likely to break the fucking thing. I think Cobalt Bottle Fire is very good because it comes with a multi-core that is solid plastic. But besides from that, it basically just is Bottle Phoenix G with worse foot pop and a worse head because it looks ugly. I like it a lot. I really like this Bottleman. It's probably my favourite Bottleman in G. But to be fair to those who are saying, like, Kouryuoh should be higher because it comes with more pieces, and if I'm ranking, like, these two on the same level, like, he should be ranked amongst with these three because they're the same build, and I would put him here in that case. Because that's where he should go, most likely, given that he is the best version of these ones, because this is just power, this has a dodgy core, this has a solid core, solid multi-core. That's probably where it should go, but I really like him. He probably goes there. For me, anyways, I know he shouldn't. He should be here, and that's probably where I'm going to keep him. But in my heart, he's there. In my heart, he is here, but in reality, he's most likely there. A lot of people don't really rank him that high, so I fucking know, to be honest. Big Cap Dragurt goes here because I think it's funny. It basically is a better Dragurt, while gold plastic is awkward to say the least. All of the gold plastic on my Bottlemen haven't faced any sort of issues, but it is gold plastic, and I've heard reports that those can be dodgy, especially as they get older. That problem might not be a thing anymore, but I'm still a little wary. But Dragurt's whole thing is its big cap launcher, right? This just uses the big cap core and magazine, so you get more big cap usage out of Dragurt's not evolution compared to Dragurt. Dragurt Big Rush mode is just a better Dragurt. And heck, if you still want just a normal Dragurt, I mean, there's Cobalt Bottle. Heck, if you have both of them, I guess you could just have your Dragurt in normal mode. And then Big Rush mode is your big cap launcher mode. Yeah, so we are in the Random Collection Volume 4. He's one of them. And now we get Bottle Bakuso and Bottle Rikuso. I know that's not technically their names, but I don't know how to pronounce their actual names, being Blue Dragon King and Red Dragon King. They are based on King Bakuso and Rikuso from Battle Beat'em 02 system. But I think I'm going to put him here, and I'm going to put him here. Maybe. The thing is, these are Kouryuoh. These are Kouryuoh, essentially. Just less of him. This is just a... I guess he could go there because he is Kouryuoh speed mode without the big cap, without the small cap launcher, so he technically ranks alongside it. Very good Bottleman, and I think, like, he's 100% better than this shit. I think I'm just gonna... Do I keep him here? Not really, because Omnicore, multi-core, which is good, but it's just a barrel, there's no magazine. Ranking him on his own, he's not necessarily the best. I'll put him there, because at the end, he is basic Kouryuoh with a barrel, and this is basic Kouryuoh with a magazine, but the magazines are a lot more just wanted in Bottleman, from my personal experience. I need to shuffle this tier list around, but the reason why Kouryuoh basic form is in B, because it is just very basic. I mean, power hold parts, but there's no real power arms for it to utilize, unlike him. But I just think this is better than him. Here? No, he's not S. In fact, I don't think he's S. In fact, he's probably not S either. Although, yeah, magazines are a lot more valuable. Here and here. Put him at top of A. At least he has like a small cap launcher, which gives him more utility. I think I'm gonna rank him here. No, yes, maybe, because the feet are good, the barrel's alright. It's still a multi-core at the end of the day, but it's not solid plastic. I think I actually prefer him being here because it is just base Kouryuoh with a barrel, which is fine. It's a short barrel too, so it's not really that much extra. I think he might go there too. I don't know. Again, magazines are just a lot more. Magazines are a lot more wanted. I don't think these even come with, like, say, a roller core for. No, they're both multi-cores. Because then we have this thing, and it's probably top of A tier. Because it's the big cap core, it's a lot more limited in what ammo it can use. It can only use big caps. He actually just goes here, there. Because it's basically Big Rush Dragurt, but with wings. And better foot part, which will hold up the magazine. It's just a better Big Rush, but I think these are just better because of the core. They just have better cores. I think I'll keep it there. And then we have the final Bottleman, because Bottleman G might actually be the end of Bottleman. So we have the final Bottleman. Welchgreat G. Again, this is meant to be a brand new Bottleman, but as you can see by the picture, it reuses Arrow Cider and CC Leon parts and Samets. So where do I put this thing? Actually, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of it, I'm gonna be honest. But I don't think, just because I'm not a big fan of it, doesn't mean that it's not a useful Bottleman. It's still very useful. The magazine, while limiting, given the fact that you can't reload its cartridges, and without the cartridges it's just one extra bottle cap, it's still a really fun and useful magazine. It's Samets' core, and we all know that I really like the one-hand trigger, and it's Arrow Cider's body set, which is probably one of the best body sets in Bottleman. So, I think he might have to go there. No, he's not as good as Spritening, but he has a better body set. Oh, that's the thing. Spritening has a multi-core, so that just makes him better. This guy is... It's a roller hold parts, so it's not even like he's got power hold parts like Spritening does. It's awkward. I think it does go there, though. I don't want to rank him above Colaoh. I don't want to rank him above any of the Mega Cannon Wing users. I think he goes there. He is a bit impractical, because, again, the CC Leon DX magazine has always been impractical. Once you've used it up, that's it. But, yeah. My opinions on this Bottleman are very mixed, because it's like, I don't really like it that much, but all of its tools are really good. It has one of the best body sets, it has a really nice speed core, and it has pretty good magazine. It's just a bit of a weird Bottleman. I think I am going to keep it where it is. No. Colaoh has more. No. Colaoh is such an enigma to me. That's like a lot of the Bottlemen, to be honest. Yeah, maybe. Colaoh's like less practical. Still don't know where to put Rakuso. No, he doesn't go there. He's not an S tier. I don't think he's an S tier either. No, he's not an S tier. I don't think the Samets should be S tier either, now that I think about it. No, they are S tier because they're like the best speed type in Bottleman. Quality control aside, give me a moment to reorganize the entire tier list and I'll get back to you. I found a solution! I made an A+ rank. So there are a lot of Bottlemen here that I think are really good, but probably don't deserve the S tier. Like, they're above A, but they probably shouldn't be in S, so I decided to make an A+ rank. And that's where all of the Samets and the Kouryuoh speed forms go. A+ is just, it's better than A, but worse than S. Something like Samets probably shouldn't be an S tier, but he is the best speed type in both Bottleman and Bottleman G. Quality control aside, the magazine is perfect for the whole reloading with one hand thing, and the trigger is perfect for the shooting with one hand thing. This thing is a perfect speed type, but it's basic. Like, that's all it does. It's a really good speed type and that's it. It doesn't have any extra utility like, say, with Kouryuoh, which means these probably should go here, but I'm sticking to my guns because Kouryuoh just has a better magazine and trigger, which just works better for speed. Plus the small caps are weird. So this is my tier list. Call me a cop-out for adding an A+, but I just could not put them in A because they are better than A, but I couldn't put them in S because they don't really feel like S's completely. S is reserved for Bottlemen that are just amazing. Samets has his issues and is pretty basic, but I still think he's like S tier material, but probably shouldn't be in S. I know something like Colaoh Energy DX is in a similar boat to Samets, where it's like, it's literally just power type of a Bottleman. But it does come with extra utility. Those wings are amazing. They're really good for control as well because of the big grip and the fact that the wingtips actually touch the floor, which means you can put even more pressure into the Bottleman because you can just manhandle it and it will stay solid. It also has a drive strip which helps. Samets is really good, but that's about it. Kouryuoh at least has its like transformation gimmick and it has a perfect mode. So this is my ranking. Because it does feel weird to have, like, perfect, and then just this fucking shark. So, I decided to have an A+ tier. You could call this, like, this could be S- as well. Actually, in fact, you know what? In fact, we're just gonna do that. This is the S- or the A+ rank tier. Because these are fucking good, but that's about it. So, let's go over the tier list and let's just refresh ourselves as to why each of the Bottlemen are in the tiers that they are. Despite the fact that I just ranted about Samets being in the tier that it is, but whatever. Kouryuoh control form is an abomination that I don't get why it exists the way it does. Bottle Bakuso is a better control Kouryuoh than control Kouryuoh is. Small caps on its side are just horrid for control because they drift off constantly. Vertical shooters are not control types unless it's using the vertical cap, but this is a tiny cap launcher so we can't use that, so it just curves off. Real good control type, my guy. Kouryuoh itself is awkward to handle because of the jet arms. It kind of digs into your hands, so you have to hold it weirdly. The barrel is short. It just looks like a mess as well. It looks like a mess of parts, which is what it is. I don't like it. Bottle Bakuso is better. The armor sets are in C tier because they are the armor set of a tier DX Bottleman, but they're just the armor pieces. They don't come with the core, so that's kind of shit, but it is a pretty good armor set, so that's why they're there. Cobalt Bottle is just a less valuable Dragurt, and it's also ugly. All of the Dragurts are pretty fine Bottlemen, but that's about it. They're just fine Bottlemen. There are many other power types in this series, let alone also in DX, that just outrank him. Like any Colaoh from DX. Well, maybe not any Colaoh. Colaoh Control is worse than Dragurt, but just, you know, Colaoh DX and Colaoh Energy DX are both better than Dragurt. Just completely. Big Rush Dragurt is just a better Dragurt. It may not be as strong because it's not power whole parts, but the fact that it can use 3 big caps at once is better than Dragurt's 1 big cap. And then we have the better Big Rush because it has wings for like a good grip, and it has the Kouryuoh foot part which have these stability struts which will help with the magazine holding the heavier big caps. Kouryuoh base form is just a really good solid Bottleman. Well, yes, it may not be as powerful as, say, Cobalt Bottle or Dragurt because the power spikes have room to move inside the hollow jet arms, but the fact that it has wings, the fact that it has these stability struts, the fact that it has a multi-core, meaning it can have magazines and barrels attached to it, like its perfect form up in S tier, it's fine. It's just got more utility than Dragurt, and it just is better than Dragurt. Bottle Bakuso is just Kouryuoh base form with a barrel, which means it has some extra utility. It has an extra barrel, which technically makes it a bit better than Kouryuoh base form. The Sphinxes are pretty cool because not only are they a system building friendly vertical shooter, but they also come with a Their only issue is their god cap is actually the worst one. Dekavitiger comes with a better god cap, but it has no drive strip. So these can be taken either way, so I actually want to rank these literally the same rank, but I can't. Because the closer to the letter they are, the better they are. So, we'll keep it like this. Deka comes with a much more useful god cap, unlike Sphinx, where you'd need at least one different bottle cap in order to use its drive strip better. Yeah, I forgot to say that Deka and Sphinx are able to attach Kouryuoh's dragon head pieces onto its front to make a barrel for it. But the barrel's so shit, it doesn't do anything, so that's why I forgot to mention it. If it even does anything, it's not even noticeable, it doesn't matter. Colaoh is a stupidly fun Bottleman, but the stupid is emphasized for a reason. It's impractical, but it's fun. Those legs are probably the best part about it because they are vertical drive strip shooters that use vertical caps, which means these are probably the best legs in Bottleman. Why? The big cap core's great, but it only utilizes big caps, so it's a bit limited there. And then the arms are small caps, which is it's impractical, it's weird, it's out of place. Well, yes, it's fun and cool, it's just, I don't know, man, it's weird. I don't like it that much. Welchgreat is a pretty weird Bottleman. It's not really the most exciting, but it does use very, very powerful, as in like utility-wise, not in terms of actual power. It uses really good parts. It has a Samets core, which that one-hand trigger is godly. It comes with probably one of the best body sets in Bottleman, and it comes with probably one of the best magazines in Bottleman. Everything about it is really good. It's just a bit meh. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. And then we have Bottle Phoenix, which is a really good power type, but it's easily outclassed by the other cannon wing users, mainly because it only uses a power core, and that's it. While the metal cap is cool, any Bottleman can use a metal cap. Well, maybe not Colaoh. Maybe in the legs, yes, but Big Rush Dragurt can't, but it's a really good power type. But Colaoh Energy DX is just better than it. Kouryuoh Power Mode is essentially just Bottle Phoenix G, but with the addition of being able to attach magazines and barrels to it, which is basically just perfect mode. It has more utility. Cobalt Bottle Fire G is the same as Kouryuoh Power Mode, but with a solid bottle core, which means it's less likely to break. However, the feet are Dragurt, which makes it worse in that department, but you could always just swap the feet around, can't you? The solid multi-core is a lot more valuable than I think people take credit for, so I'm gonna keep him up in, even though I want to put him here, because he is my favourite, I'm just gonna keep him where he should be. Spritening G is our first multi-type Bottleman, on the tier list anyways. While all of these are great in their own mind, Kouryuoh Power Mode is just Power Mode, and like it's 1/5 of a bigger thing, but then we have Cobalt, which it doesn't come with a magazine or a barrel. This has a magazine and a barrel and a multi-core. While it may not be as strong as the Mega Cannon Wing users, it's still a very useful Bottleman. With the CC Leon body set as well, it's got a good solid base for it to stand. It is objectively a really good Bottleman, despite how lazy it is. The magazine could be better because our Tactical Sports magazine is shit, but whatever. Next we have these two choco-fucks. Bottle Rakuso and Kouryuoh Speed Mode are practically the same Bottleman. The only difference is that Kouryuoh Speed Mode has its small cap launcher, so it has extra utility. That's the only reason why Kouryuoh Speed Mode ranks higher than Bottle Rakuso, because it has its small cap launcher. It's more stuff for it to use. I've already ranted about the Sametses, but they are the best speed type. It feeling like shit to fire aside, but the one-hand grip, the sideways magazine making it easier to load stuff in, it's just really nice. The Wyverns are higher up because they come with a speed cap compared to Samets' light cap. I think the speed cap is just better overall than the light cap, so that's why these two rank higher. Because they come with a better god cap, that's the only reason why they rank higher. That and Wyvern comes with a solid core, which in Bottleman G especially is more valuable because it's less likely to break. And then in S tier is really the only Bottleman that should be in S tier, Kokuryuoh G and his silver version. Well, yes, I have broken Kouryuoh into its 5 modes because its 5 modes pretty much kind of are technically classified as their own Bottlemen, somewhat. Like, you wouldn't put Kouryuoh in its speed form on the same level as Kouryuoh in its fucking control form, but the entire Kouryuoh set as a whole is S tier, despite the fucking core breaking because of the jet arms. But if you keep Kouryuoh in its perfect form, it's absolutely safe. It's fine, which is why Cobalt Bottle Fire has a lot of value in my eyes, because it comes with a solid multi-core, which you could just use with a Kouryuoh and just have the perfect Bottleman. Well, yes, you can make it better with, say, a Samets trigger and magazine, or with Spritening barrel. Still, as a one package thing, it is very, very good. And silver is literally the same thing but recolored, so these two rank up here because they are literally perfect Bottlemen. Power hull parts, power arms, magazine, barrel, stability support, it is all there. And that, my friends, is my Bottleman G tier list. I know I have some questionable opinions when it comes to, say, Colaoh and Samets and Spritening and Cobalt Bottle Fire, but this is what I think is probably where all these would rank. I mean, some of them should be higher, but I have my issues with Colaoh, which are very me-centric. But in terms of practicality, Colaoh is pretty weird to use practically. Well, again, its wow factor is what even puts it in A tier in the first place. And all of its parts being system friendly also puts it up in A tier. Again, remember, Colaoh is in A tier? You know, like, really good? Like, the only Bottleman here I would arguably say is actually bad is Kouryuoh Control Form. Kouryuoh Control Form is the only Bottleman here I would actively say is bad, which means anything from C and above is great. I like them. D is bad, C is fine, B is alright, they're pretty nice. A is really good, A plus is really good, and then S is perfect. S is reserved for literally the Bottlemen that basically become perfect types. Which, yeah, this is just... Remember, B and above is great. Heck, A and above is where you get really good Bottlemen. So, if I have any additional information that I want to add to the video, I will be adding it throughout the video, or maybe right here. So, yeah, thank you for watching my Bottleman G tier list video. I know it's been a weird one, but it's a thing, isn't it? That's my ranking, and if you don't like them, the tier list is in the description below, so you could rank them yourself, and then show me what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I mean, you probably do with Colaoh. How would you rank everything? Blah blah blah. Let me know in the comments below. Because, again, this is literally just my tier list, my opinions, my feelings. I know I rank some of these based on actual utility, like objective utility, but I do throw a bone to myself. I think a lot of these rankings do fare up pretty well in terms of utility and practicality, but then there's obviously things here that are my bias, like like Samets and Cobalt Bottle Fire being as high up as they are. Heck, I made an entire tier for Samets. Very odd tier list, I know that. But, again, if you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to hear, as long as we can have a healthy discussion about our different opinions. I'm entitled to mine, you're entitled to yours. It's just basic human decency. So, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to help out my YouTube channel out there in the YouTube algorithm and all that shit. I think Never Did Rematch in the Pokemon video have fucked my channel, so yeah, help a brother out. What Pokemon video? Ah yes, my video game based Pokemon region. You should watch that video next. Links in the description, or there's a card or whatever. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky or both at J5 the Hyperforce. By following me on my social medias or keeping up to date with my community tab here on YouTube, you can see what shit I'm doing. Whether I'm making a video or general shit posting or just doing whatever. Sharing my opinions or retweeting bollocks. Just give me a follow on there, because it's probably going to be the best way you can figure out what the hell I'm doing with my YouTube channel or any other projects that I'm working on. If you like Bottleman, you'll like my video game Bottleman, because it's the same sort of thing. It's a visual novel with a shooting hobby style battle system, where you can customize your blaster for the battle ahead. I mean, I think it's a pretty fun little game, and if you are a fan of Bottleman or Beat'em, you should really give it a try, because it's the same sort of thing, but I'd argue it's better.
You're good, but I'm better.
There is a free demo that you can test out, so then if you end up not liking it, there's no harm's done. You haven't wasted money on buying the full version. So, with all that said and done, this has been J5 the Hyperforce, ranking Bottlemen for the 3rd time now. I will see you whenever next. Till then, ready cap? Wait, there's a G, not DX. That song doesn't fit here.